Hello there, thanks for joining me this Thursday on 7Edition. I'm Shafika Razali and these are tonight's headlines. Malaysia to leverage on 5G technology. More than 4 million people to face water supply disruption. And scores dead after tourist bus veers off steep road. Good evening. We begin tonight's bulletin with this story. Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad is confident that Malaysia can leverage on 5G technology within the next 3 years. And this will enable the country to punch above its own weight and catapult the national economy towards strong and sustainable growth.
But the change from 4G to 5G doesn't just appear overnight. It requires significant efforts in research and development, industry collaborations, and the resources necessary to support the effort. I'm glad to state that the government will embark on the National Fiberization and Connectivity Plan, NFCP, to ensure readiness and timely deployment of 5G technology.
The Premier said this when launching 5G Malaysia Progressing Humanity Program in Putrajaya. He said 5G would impact every industry that is vital to the growth of the economy. Through smart manufacturing, the government hopes it can attract high value added, high technology and knowledge intensive investment in areas such as aerospace, chemicals and chemical products, medical devices and electrical and electronics.
So we can bury it deep within.
Now, the Prime Minister has been listed as one of Time magazine's 100 most influential people this year. He was listed in the Leaders segment after coming out of retirement at age 92 and leading Pakatan Harapan to a historic election victory in the 14th general election. He shared the list together with United States President Donald Trump, Chinese President Xi Jinping, and New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan, Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Zayed, and Pope Francis. Sarawak Report editor Claire Rewcastle-Brown wrote the profile summary for Tun Dr. Mahathir on the Time 100 website, calling him a formidable old warhorse who dazzled during a grueling campaign and re-established democracy in the country. Other categories in the list were pioneers, artists, icons and titans. The magazine's annual list is based on votes of its readers, opened between March 27th and yesterday. Moving on, more than 4 million people will face water supply disruption for up to 4 days from April 24th. This was due to upgrading works at the Selangor River Phase 2 water treatment plant. According to the National Water Services Commission, or SPAN, 620,835 account holders, or 4.14 million consumers, will be affected in 577 areas in Klang, Shah Alam, Petaling, Gombak, Kuala Lumpur, Kuala Langat and Kuala Selangor. In a statement, SPAN Chairman Charles Santiago said Air Selangor was shutting down the plant for an urgent power supply system upgrade to prevent any unexpected water supply disruptions from power failure. The upgrading works will be carried out from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. on April 24th, and the plant's shutdown will disrupt water supply for up to 86 hours, depending on the location of the consumer. Air Selangor expects about 50% of the affected areas will start receiving piped water supply again in 24 hours. A total of 22 suspected cases of influenza A H1N1 were detected at Sekolah Tuanku Abdul Rahman Star Ipoh Perak until yesterday. Health Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Zulkifli Ahmad said this brings the cumulative number of cases reported at the school to 102, including a teacher with symptoms of respiratory tract infections such as fever, sore throat and cough.
Jadi seramai 51 orang masih diasingkan in isolasi di asrama sekolah dan aktiviti disinfeksi sedang dilakukan secara lebih agresif di sekitaran asrama that was yesterday lah, hari ini 17 kan. Dan kes-kes yang aktif ataupun kita sedang buat aktif case detection diteruskan sehingga tamat wabaknya. There's an outbreak.
The minister added one star student was admitted to a private hospital and was reportedly stable while still awaiting for the laboratory's results. Yesterday, 4 samples from 79 star students who had been diagnosed with fever and cough cluster were confirmed positive for influenza A H1N1. A recycling factory in Jalan Bakar Arang, Sungai Petani, Kedah was destroyed in a fire early this morning. Sungai Petani Fire and Rescue Operations Head Muhammad Rizwan Nat Jamuddin said the department received an emergency call at 4:30 a.m. and that the fire and rescue team arrived at the site 3 minutes later. Firemen took about 3 hours to put out the blaze as the fire involved a pile of plastic recycling materials. Fortunately, no casualties were reported. The cause of fire and losses incurred is still being investigated. US Ambassador Kamala Shirin Lakte was summoned by the Foreign Ministry on Wednesday. She was called in to explain her government's decision to warn its citizens about the risks of being kidnapped in Malaysia. Lakte also took note of the government's protest as well as concerns and said she would convey them to Washington. Wisma Putra, in a statement, said Acting Secretary-General Raja Datuk Nushirwan Zainal Abidin had received Lakdir and also handed her a protest note expressing the Malaysian government's objection to the US decision. During the meeting, the ambassador explained that the US travel advisory categorizes each country into 4 possible tiers based on the US government's assessment of the safety and security situation. As in previous years, Malaysia as a whole has been placed in Tier 1, reserved for the safest countries and which is the lowest risk. However, it was explained that Eastern Sabah is subject to the K indicator due to the US's concerns of potential kidnappings and hostage-taking. The ministry, however, said the US State Department's decision to include Malaysia in its K indicator list in a travel advisory did not reflect the reality on the ground, particularly the improved security situation in Eastern Sabah. Wisma Putra also said both parties have agreed that it would be useful if, in the future, the Malaysian government is informed prior to similar announcements being made. This was reflected in the significant drop of kidnapping cases to almost nil last year. The government has reiterated that security and safety of tourists throughout Malaysia, including in Eastern Sabah, remain its top priority. Last year, the country recorded a 27.9% increase in tourist arrivals from the US, bringing the total of 253,384. The 24 Penang Road Transport Department JPJ enforcement officers who were remanded since yesterday will be suspended for 2 months pending investigations. Its Director General Datuk Sri Shahrudin Khalid said the move indicates that integrity is something that the JPJ will not compromise. Datuk Sri Shahrudin said the department will give its full cooperation to the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC into the said case.
Amaran kepada semua pegawai JPJ bahawa isu integriti tidak ada kompromi. Isu corruption tidak ada tolak ansur. Sekiranya ada tangkapan ataupun penahanan atau siasatan oleh SPRM atau mana-mana agensi berkuasa, kita tidak akan mempertahankannya. Kita akan bantu untuk siasatan. Jadi ini yang belum ada apa-apa lagi tangkapan, misalnya kata kalau nak ada pun, saya tidak akan menghalang. Maksudnya, biarlah. Kerana kita mahukan agensi ini, agensi JPJ ini bersih dari elemen-elemen rasuah, penyalahgunaan kuasa dan juga isu integriti.
The Penang JPJ staff were believed to have accepted monthly payments of between 10,000 ringgit and 32,000 ringgit as an inducement not to take action against the lorry drivers for various traffic offences, particularly operating overweight lorries. Meanwhile, the Transport Ministry has long been aware of the corruption practices among the JPJ enforcement officers. Its Minister Anthony Loke Siew Fook, however, said no actions were taken as there was no evidence against them. He added the government was firm in cleaning up the administration and it did not just involve cabinet ministers but those at all levels including enforcement.
Kita memberikan kerjasama sepenuhnya kepada pihak SPRM untuk menguatkuasakan kalau ada mana-mana penjawat awam terutamanya kalau mana-mana pegawai penguatkuasa JPJ yang terlibat dengan unsur-unsur rasuah, kita mengalung-alungkan tindakan tegas daripada pihak SPRM.
He also said he was confident of the credibility and leadership of Datuk Sri Shaharuddin as JPJ's Director General in managing and eradicating corrupt practices within the department as he had previously served at the MACC. The fifth witness of the Royal Commission of Inquiry (RCI) on human trafficking and mass graves in Wang Kelian revealed today that the illegal immigrants smuggled into the camp had to pay more than 2,000 ringgit to enter Malaysia. ASP Joking M. Maniam Anthony said a Bangladeshi national who was among the 38 illegal immigrants rescued from the camp on January 15, 2015, informed him of the matter. According to him, the Bangladeshi national said that all the victims met with an agent who promised to find jobs for them in Malaysia. After paying 2,000 ringgit or more to the agent, the victims were then brought by ship to the country and had to walk through the jungle to reach the camp. Joe King also stated that 6 of the illegal immigrants were detained at the settlement camp near the peak of Bukit Wang Burma, while 32 others were detained while trying to escape the area. Among those arrested were 22 illegal immigrants from Bangladesh and 16 from Myanmar. Meanwhile, it was also revealed that the mass graves in Wang Kelian were only discovered on the day the General Operation Force (GOF) carried out orders to destroy the illegal settlement camps in Perlis. Upon discovering the grave sites in the area on January 21, 2015, the operation to destroy the camp was halted to allow for further investigations to take place. Now, the Kuala Lumpur High Court was informed today that cheques worth more than 25 million ringgit were issued by accounts suspected to be linked to former Prime Minister Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak and SRC International Sendirian Berhad. And Bank Cheque Processing Centre Senior Manager Badrul Hisham Muhammad verified the 17 cheques, confirming that it had been cashed in successfully. Among the recipients of the cheques were United Pasuk Momogun Kadasan Dusun Murut Organisation or APCO, Penang UMNO, Johor Bahru UMNO Division, Solar Shine Sendirian Berhad, Vital Spire Sendirian Berhad, trustees of Rumah Penyayang Tun Abdul Razak and Ihsan Perdana Sendirian Berhad. Badrul Hisham, aged 42, was the 5th prosecution witness in the Datuk Sri Najib's corruption trial. The former Premier faces 7 charges involving 42 million ringgit belonging to SRC International. The 5th day of the trial before Justice Muhammad Nazlan Muhammad Ghazali was then postponed to 9 a.m. on Monday. In Selangor, a 27-year-old woman has been arrested after she was found transporting 50 slabs of drugs believed to be compressed ganja in the boot of a car. District Police Chief ACP Ismadi Borhan said the drugs were discovered after the woman, who was driving a Toyota Vios, was stopped for inspection by authorities at about 6 p.m. in Sri Kembangan, Serdang on Tuesday. The drugs, packed in 3 gunny sacks weighing about 1 kilogram each, could be used by 5,000 to 10,000 people.
Rampasan melibatkan lebih kurang 50 kilogram ganja, dadah jenis ganja, yang kita syaki ganja, telah diletakkan di dalam kenderaan yang dibawa oleh suspek utama ini. Harga anggaran lebih kurang RM150,000.
Investigations showed that the suspect is unemployed and new to the activity and that she bought in the drugs through Kelantan for distribution in the Klang Valley. Police believe the woman is part of a syndicate and they are looking for other suspects, including the mastermind. The woman, whose urine test was positive for methamphetamine, has been remanded for 7 days until April 23rd for investigation under the Dangerous Drugs Act. Meanwhile, police are hunting between 3 and 7 suspects believed to be the masterminds behind a previously crippled online gambling syndicate in Serdang. ACP Ismadi said the suspects, all of whom are locals, have been identified and believed to be plotting to revive the syndicate's illicit operation in the area. He added the individuals were expected to be arrested soon under the Prevention of Crime Act (POCA). Since the beginning of the year, a total of 310 individuals, including 107 foreigners, have been arrested following massive raids on illegal gambling dens in the district. Authorities also seized cash totaling 20,942 ringgit, laptops, computers and handphones amounting to 70,000 ringgit. When we come back, KLIA name change, yay or nay? Thanks for staying with us. The Selangor State Government is considering to change the official name of the Kuala Lumpur International Airport, KLIA, to Sepang International Airport, SIA. Confirming this, EXCO member Ng Han said the matter was discussed in the State EXCO meeting, but nothing has been decided yet. He said the name-changing issue rises because KLIA is actually located in Sepang, Selangor, and that most international airports often use locality as their name. A purported minutes of a Selangor EXCO meeting last October was leaked online, which mentioned the state's rebranding effort of KLIA to SIA. Meanwhile, Transport Minister Anthony Loke said he had yet to receive any official request from the state. Meanwhile, Perak DAP Vice Chairman Dr. Abdul Aziz Bari has denied that he was one of those in a leaked voice recording purportedly featuring an EXCO member discussing the Menteri Besar's performance. The Tebing Tinggi Assemblyman also said he would leave it to the people to judge for themselves if he was the voice in the recording.
Semua kata macam itu. Kan? Tapi sekarang ni macam-macam orang dituduh macam itu. Hatta kalau katakan rakaman video pun, dengan gambar pun, dengan teknologi yang ada sekarang, benda tak mustahil orang lain yang bercakap macam itu. Kecuali saya PC macam ni kan, ramai semua nampak kan. Dan rasmi dan autentik kan. Yang benda macam itu kenapa diarah kepada saya? Dan kenapa saya saja? Saya seorang saja yang ada potensi jadi MB ke? Orang lain tak ada apa?
Speaking to reporters at the sidelines of the Perak State Assembly, Abdul Aziz also questioned the timing of the recording, where he claimed this was an attempt by Barisan Nasional to divert public attention. Rumours of an internal ouster surfaced on November 25th when Perak opposition leader Datuk Sarani Muhammad Sarani revealed there was a high possibility that the state could face snap polls. Highlighting the viral 4-minute recording where several men were heard discussing the Perak MB's performance, he alleged that there was a move by the state EXCO members to topple Datuk Sri Ahmad Faizal Azumu. Rare earth processing plant Linus Malaysia Sendirian Berhad is deemed to have broken the law by storing a huge amount of scheduled waste for long periods. Semambu Assemblyman Lee Chian Chung said Linus's plant had collected and kept over 1 million tons of neutralization underflow residue NUF waste over 6 years of operation. He also said the maximum amount of scheduled waste that can be collected at the site is 20 tons for up to 180 days, according to the Environmental Quality Scheduled Waste Regulations 2005. An environmental impact assessment report regarding Linus's NUF waste disposal was submitted to the Department of Environment yesterday. Commenting further, Lee said the report did not meet the criteria required to ensure that the well-being, health and environment were maintained in view of the NUF waste disposal site being located in Gebeng. Now let's hop on to our daily segment Clickbait, where we take a look at what's trending and making rounds in the cyber world today. Mention Grab food delivery and you'd immediately think of a rider waiting at your door with a bag of food. Recently in Singapore, a group of Grab food delivery riders awed netizens after they went beyond their call of duty to provide food for their state's homeless living in the Toa Payoh and Kim Kat area. A Facebook post on Monday showed the group of a dozen or so Grab food delivery personnel out and about putting the food packages together 2 days earlier. The riders had purchased food in bulk, including biscuits, water and packet drinks, all gathered at a void deck of a block of flats. After packing everything into individual plastic bags, the riders then took off on their personal mobility devices on a charity ride around their neighbourhood while looking for the homeless people. They encountered several of the homeless when they combed the streets, such as in alleyways and on public benches. The kind Grab food riders also did not forget to thank each and everyone in the group that made this charity event a success.
Hey guys, we from Toa Payoh Grabbers. We're doing some charity for tonight, finding a homeless. Thank you for everyone who joining us.
China, which bought 1.6 million tons of Malaysian palm oil, totaling 3.7 billion ringgit last month, has pledged to significantly increase the purchase of the local commodity. Its ambassador to Malaysia, Bai Tian, said this follows the revival of the stalled East Coast rail link, coupled with robust demand from 300 million out of its 1.4 billion population. In revealing this, Tian said China is also keen to assist Malaysia in boosting the crops' yield, which has been on a declining trend. Last year, Malaysia exported 3.07 million tons of palm oil and palm products with a total value of 8.4 billion ringgit to the Republic. This was 7.3% more than 2.86 million tons of palm oil sold at 9.39 billion ringgit 2017. Apart from palm oil, China also eyes bilateral offset deals that involve defense, aerospace, security, maritime, construction and financial services. They include the planned high-speed rail project linking Kuala Lumpur with Singapore and possibly beyond the Thai border. Coming up, rains and dust storms killed nearly 100 across India and Pakistan. We'll be right back. We're back with foreign news. At least 29 people have died after a bus carrying German tourists plunged off a road and overturned on the Portuguese island of Madeira. Another 27 were injured in the accident near the town of Caniço. The accident occurred at 6:30 p.m. local time when the driver lost control of the bus at a junction and went off the road, just short of destroying a house. The bus was reported to be carrying 55 passengers, along with a driver and a tour guide. 11 of the fatalities were men and 17 were women. Authorities said the bus met safety standards and so it was premature to talk about what caused the crash. It was reported that the vehicle was only 5 or 6 years old and the driver was experienced. Investigation into the crash is underway. Meanwhile, in India, at least 50 people were killed as rain coupled with thunderstorms and lightning hit several parts of the country's western states, leaving widespread damage. The unseasonal rain and storm, which hit Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat and Maharashtra overnight, saw high-speed winds damaging dozens of homes and uprooting trees. Rajasthan witnessed the maximum casualties, with 21 people killed in rain-related incidents, followed by Madhya Pradesh, where 15 lives were perished. At least 10 people died in Gujarat and another 4 killed in Maharashtra. Officials said most of the victims were hit by lightning, falling trees or electrocuted by power lines. The department has predicted dust storm and thunderstorm, accompanied with high-velocity winds and lightning, will hit several places in the country during the next 24 hours. Meanwhile, in Pakistan, at least 39 people were killed while 135 others were injured as rain continued to wreak havoc across the country. According to the National Disaster Management Authority, at least 80 houses were also damaged as torrential rain lashed Punjab, Balochistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa provinces. Death toll may continue to rise as many people remain missing and severe weather continues to impact the region. Authorities also warned that widespread dust thunderstorms thunderstorms and rain accompanied by gusty winds is expected to continue into Thursday morning before dry weather returns.